Hey guys, and welcome to our DIY budget camper build series. As we are currently on lockdown in Spain, we wanted to put together a mini series on our DIY budget camper build. This video has been requested quite a bit lately, with a lot of people at home on lockdown and who have decided to convert their own vans.
Unfortunately, we only started filming after we built the van, so we don't have a lot of video footage. We do have photos and some small video clips which will help to show you our story. So stay tuned to find out how we converted our van into a camper van on a budget, step by step.
In this week's episode, we go through our gas installation, including our very own sealed gas locker. We also explain why we chose this gas setup over alternative gas systems.
So the gas system that we used in our van is an 11 kilo refillable gas LPG system with an external fill point. One of the reasons that we chose this gas system over other gas systems is we can also fill it from outside the van, which means no gas is coming inside the van. And this is protected with a sealed gas locker that we built ourselves. This gas system is a little bit more expensive than other gas systems. I think it was around £300, but it was definitely worth it. We hear people using refillable cartridges and smaller butane bottles that seem to be really expensive to refill. But ours cost us about 12 to 14 euro to fill it up, and to be honest, in 6 months we've never had to refill it. And that's all the cups of tea for an Irish couple, all the dinners we have and everything. It's brilliant. This is a view from the outside of our van. This is the external fill point which we install ourselves. When you take this cap off, you're able to fill up the gas from outside. There are 3 different adapters that you can get for different countries, and we bought them all with the kit included for the £300. We highly recommend getting all the different options just so you can fill up the LPG gas wherever you are. I will admit that installing this was a little bit terrifying, and it was the first time I ever saw a hole saw in my life. I had to put it up against the van and basically just cut another hole through the van. I started off by measuring exactly where I wanted this to be by checking the inside of the kitchen and making sure I could line it up with the gas locker and where it was going to be. Once I'd committed to where this was going to be, I had to make sure that I drilled it in and didn't make any mistakes, because you can't really go back on something like this. This was really simple with the right tools, and I was so glad I did it. Even though it was a little bit terrifying, it actually went through pretty handy, just like most things in the van.
If you're liking this video so far, guys, please like it, share the video and subscribe to our channel. It doesn't cost a thing, but it really helps us out. So please, please, please subscribe. Thanks guys, back to the build.
So once we cut the external hole for the fill point, I'm going to show you inside the van. As you've already seen in the last episode, our kitchen episode, we built our kitchen frame and put everything up against the wall. We then fed the hose through from the outside of the van inside of where the sealed gas locker is going to be. We used Greg Virgo's method on installing our gas system, so if you haven't checked out his channel before, give him a look, he's brilliant. Once we had a little tunnel for the tube to go through, we made sure we Sikaflexed this off to make everything sealed. It was then time to build the gas locker. We started off by putting up some walls on the sides. This was 12mm ply. Next, as part of the safety regulations for a sealed gas locker, you must have a drop vent. A drop vent is basically a hole inside the sealed gas locker that allows gas to drop through in case there's a leak. This is really important. This is because gas is heavier than air, so any gas that have come through into the locker will drop through. Again, I had to use a hole saw to drill the hole through the floor, and it took a little bit of time going through the van, going through the flooring, but it was fine. Once that was complete, we had to finish off by building the walls for the gas locker. You can see here, outside the front garden, we painted this with flame resistant paint. This is another important step to make sure we're as safe as we can be. Now you can see the inside of the gas locker. With the flame resistant paint and everything all sealed and Sikaflexed, it looks pretty safe now. In the corner you can see the drop vent with a little gauze on top to make sure nothing can come in the van, but the gas can go out should there be a gas leak. You can also see 4 pieces of wood on the floor, and this is simply to hold the gas bottle in place. This means it can't slide around as we drive, because you know it is a home on wheels. We also spent €14 on 2 straps that go on the side of the wall and also hug the bottle in place. So not only is the gas bottle hugged into the wall, it also is stuck into the floor. We then screwed on the regulator onto the wall before installation. Now this is a close-up of everything installed in the van. As I mentioned, we have straps on the side, and we also have the gas cylinder dropped into the wooden battens that we custom created just to hold them there. Setting up the gas is actually pretty simple. There's only one way it can actually go in, but we do recommend getting a gas professional just to look over your connection before you fill up the tank with gas. We always recommend safety over everything. On the top of the gas cylinder, there's a yellow valve. Turning this one way will shut off all the gas, and turning it the other way will open the gas and allow it to come through once you have it hooked up to your gas hob. The gas comes out from the top of the cylinder and through our regulator, which I showed you before on the wall, and it goes through the ceiling of that into our gas hob. This is all sealed off and has been certified as safe. One really handy thing about this is that we can see how much gas is left inside this gas cylinder simply by looking at the top. There's a little dial which goes from green to red, and it lets us know exactly how much gas is left at any one time. As I mentioned before, we highly recommend that if you have the money up front, spend the £300 or €320, whatever it is, and get this if you're going to be in your van long term. We find that we save a fortune as we go on and spend longer inside the van, whereas if you went and got the smaller, cheaper gas cylinders up front, you'd spend a fortune as you refill them. Cheaper is not always better, especially on a DIY budget camper build.
So that concludes this episode, guys, for our gas. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share the video and subscribe to our channel. And stay tuned next week for our next episode where we will go through all the storage in our van. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you in next video. Bye!